What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg. What I'm talking to you guys today about is rideshare versus delivery. I have done some delivery work, and I want to tell you guys about my experience with it and kind of like the pros and cons of both. I have a lot of friends that like live by Uber Eats. I'm actually a buddy that I'm visiting right now. He only does Uber Eats, and he claims that he always makes $20 an hour. Maybe we're in a really good market here and it's not like that everywhere, but I've run into a lot of people that really prefer delivery. I think in most cases people prefer delivery because they don't want to deal with people, and I totally get that. I'm enough of a people person that people don't bother me, and I don't mind it. But there's a lot of times where for me it really is tempting because I'm like, God, I just don't even want to engage with people today, and that's like me being a people person. So if you consider yourself like mega introvert, I could totally understand the logic behind just doing like Uber Eats, Doordash, Grubhub, etc. So yeah, some of the things I've noticed with Uber and Lyft that just get like toxic and expensing over time is I feel like no matter what your kind of spiritual beliefs are, you need to think this way, but just kind of like the energy in your car, like the people you're surrounding yourself with. And please don't take this like real wacky spiritual, because I'm really not even like that person. And what I'm trying to say is the vibes people get off, if you're giving rides to really ticked off jerk bags all day, that's going to affect you. No matter what you believe, that's gonna somewhat have a little bit of an impact on you, So I hit these moments probably every 3 months where I feel like I'm God, I'm so done with Uber and Lyft. And so one time I hit that moment and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try out delivery. So I did a lot of Postmates and I did a little bit of Uber Eats. Now, what I learned from people later is that Postmates is one of the worst ones to do. Because they just don't have, it's kind of like Lyft. I've heard they don't really have a whole lot of incentives, and there's some other reason somebody was telling me, but I did a lot of Postmates, and here's what I learned. So the biggest benefit of it really is that you don't deal with people. I really loved when I wasn't thinking about if my car was dirty, if I had anything in the back seat. I wasn't, and I would just sit and call my friends all day and be on the phone literally all day while I was driving. I would listen to whatever music I wanted and not think about, do they like this or not? It's one of my biggest paranoias when I'm driving for Uber and Lyft. And so I'm not gonna lie, there was major bliss in that for me, where I was holy cow, I could get used to this. I could really get used to not having to deal with people. But there was just some downfalls to it that really bothered me. So the thing that I really hate is that it was the delivery driver's job to find the passenger. The reason why is because doing this in apartment complexes is insane. I would be doing it at night, and then it's the drop-off instructions say building 9, or building F, room 2086, for example. When you're driving through complexes at night, it is so freaking hard to see building numbers and building signs. And a lot of times they have a directory, but if it's a really confusing place, I would still just be in there getting lost. And I started getting, actually it was my second day, I think I'd already gotten a 1-star rating, because I got really upset with this guy because he ordered $3 of freaking Taco Bell, and it took me 30 minutes to find him. And he's telling me in the middle of the night, oh, just go south here. As I'm walking around, I'm like, dude, first of all, Lewis and freaking Clark, I don't know how to go south at night. Maybe I'm an idiot for that, but I don't know. I really don't. And so he was giving me directions like that, and I finally snapped on him on the phone. I was like, dude, here's the honest truth. I was like, I don't know where the hell I'm going. I was like, I don't know what direction I'm going. I was like, I really need you to come out of your apartment and find me. I was like, 'cause I cannot find you. And he came out, and I could feel his Taco Bell, it was literally lukewarm by the time I got to him. And so, no, I don't blame him at all. I probably would have given that a low rating. I probably wouldn't have done 1. I probably would have done 3. But yeah, so he gave me my like very first really bad rating. And that was like really where I was just like, I don't want to do this, because the one thing that's nice about Uber and Lyft is like to some degree the passenger has to find you. Like obviously we're going to have people pretty often still as well who are like, no, I need you to do this and then you'll see me, you know. And that's annoying, but like when you're doing it in your car, it's not that bad, you know, and you can zip around real quick. But when you get out and you're on foot trying to find the third floor to some apartment building, it's like impossible. So the other really disappointing thing for me about delivery is I was hoping people would be a lot better tippers on delivery versus Uber and Lyft. And I was imagining that like I was going to be making way more money in tips, because like for me, and I don't know if this is just because I grew up in a big city, but like for me, it's like common courtesy, not even courtesy. It's like assumed, like if you get pizza delivered or something, like you tip them, and you tip them good. Like you don't just throw them $1, like you throw them like $5-10. And that's how I've always been with any type of delivery. It's like I will always throw you a minimum $5. And so what I was shocked at is the amount of people that I would deliver food to and I wouldn't get tipped anything. And it would be like sometimes like the really rich areas, and I'm picking up like a big old order for a family and no tip. And it like really blew my mind. And I think that was the other thing where I really was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. And maybe if I'd given it more time, like some of you might do this and you're like, no, you just need to really learn how to do it, and then you would have gotten good tips. That wasn't the case for me. I felt like I just wasn't getting tipped well no matter what. And I think the problem for me was I'm so used to relying on like being super personable during a 20-minute ride with someone and then getting a good tip because they think I'm amazing. Which I know all of you can probably relate to. That sounded really like really cocky, and I really didn't mean it to sound that way. So with delivery, I think the problem for me was I get out and I have this like at most 30-second interaction with them. And so then I found myself always trying to do probably like way too much to try and get them to like notice me. So then I'd be like, hey, just so you know, I threw in 10 ketchups, 10 mustards, 5 mayos, and 6 extra silverware napkins, you know, just trying to go the extra mile for you. Like I felt like I was being way too like pushy with it, and then I think I was just annoying people, and so I wasn't getting tipped well. So I felt like at the end of the day, for me, I felt like my average earnings, and like I said, maybe if I hadn't done Postmates, this would have been different, but I felt like I was making $14 an hour on average. Now, like I said, I have a really close friend who swears by Uber Eats, and he swears that he makes $20 an hour almost no matter what. I don't know. I mean, I only did Uber Eats for a little bit. Maybe if I had tried harder, I would have gotten more out of it. But for me, at the end of the day, as much as I loved not having people in my car, I really didn't like having that extra responsibility of having to get the food to them. And getting out of my car, like that really sketched me out a lot. Like I didn't like doing that, because a lot of times I would just leave my car running because I'm sprinting in to pick up a pizza or whatever. And I don't know, it just started to bother me more and more and more. So then I lost my delivery card one time, and I took it as a sign from the universe that I was meant to be done with delivery, and I went back to Uber and Lyft. So at the end of the day, what I think really is always so amazing about Uber and Lyft is like we really end up just kind of sitting in here all day. You know, we don't really ever have to go above and beyond more than that. Like the few times I've gotten out of my car is if I was talking to like a really old lady and she was really confused about the airport pickup spots. So I would just get out and I'd be screaming and waving at her. And that's like the most effort we have to actually do. The reality is getting all those walks up the flights of stairs at the apartment complexes was probably really good for me. I wish there was some way I could combine the like two. I wish I could get the pleasure of like getting the exercise here and there from Uber Eats or delivery services, but I wish it just wasn't so hard to figure out where people were at. So I'm actually really curious to see what you guys think about delivery. If you've got any feedback or things you think I'm dead wrong about, leave a comment, you know, and we'll see what people say, and we'll see like what the general consensus overall is on delivery. For me, it's like really more of an opinion than anything, but it's just not for me. So, but yeah, that's what I got for you guys. That's my video. I hope you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I got a lot more content I'm going to bring to you guys soon. And for those of you that have maybe considered delivery driving, or maybe you've considered Uber and Lyft driving, I'm leaving links into the description to all these referral codes so you can get going on a lot of these things. But yeah, I hope you guys crushed out there, and I will talk to you guys soon.